figure this out. Start video.
Okay. Yay! Okay. It's okay. I mean, I know how tangled she could be. So, again, okay. Again, the top part in Kelsey told us she will be doing entrepreneur. And the bottom is Brady, who will be my entrepreneur.
Hi, Brady.
Okay, so I wanted to check in with you. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm in South Africa and having an incredible time. We actually went to a school today and we're painting and refurbishing a kindergarten, which was really, really special. So I'm in a wonderful mood.
That's great. I mean, I thought your stories on Instagram with South Africa and Berlin and as well as your coach guy, Andrew. I was like, I put my detective thing to work. I was like, okay. Try Instagram, Andrew. I'm like, I know who the coach guy is for the new movie or the next movie. He was like, let me hear that tact. I was like, it's Brittany Bristow. You can't hide that from me. You know, that's very good. I was like,
Thank you.
no, I can't talk about it, guys, because we're filming. I'm like, that's okay. At least I know you two are in a movie together. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to that movie. Because I know we're going to have a movie in Africa, which is more of like a supporting lady. Love at the Party. One of my favorite movies. I mean, John Corn and Lacey, I was like, and the way you are, I should, every single movie you have been in, I should be like, oh my God, Brittany, she could be my new best friend. And I kind of regret that I didn't really come up to do West Palm Beach because I came to West Palm Beach for one reason only, Tyler.
Oh, that's fair.
So, but I met guys, it was just a great experience. So we will get to Romadrama and all of that, because I know you had a lot going on with Romadrama and the Love Club doing and the wedding, and I was just, I don't know how she did it, but I'm glad to thank you today.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was, there was a lot going on, but it was all so much fun. And I felt so lucky to be a part of all of it. So I was just really happy. Also, I'm sorry that I was just in the dark for a little bit. There's something called load shedding here in Joburg. So the lights will periodically go off in the hotel because there's no electricity to the hotel. So they use generators. So if I'm in the dark,
okay, no problem. Okay. I was watching the Love Club series, okay? It was really interesting, it was really weird. I'm trying my best, trying to have some kind of accessibility and stuff, because apparently your movie, Nicole Pampa, was available with caption or sometimes. I'm trying I get to watch it. I'm going to keep going with The New Journey, Lauren's Dream, A Terror Tune. Those movies, and I have anything about that.
I know.
So I had to use my phone. My phone had the live caption. So I finished Nicole Pampa, The New Journey, and I'm halfway through Lauren's Dream. And I have to say, I love it. I mean, if I love the first two movies, I will love the last two movies. So my question for you for the Love Club is that doesn't matter which order you watch it, and the more coming into the Love Club series or the just those four movies?
So it doesn't really matter what order you watch them in necessarily. They do track. So my movie is the first one. It's also the first one in terms of the time of year. And we get to meet and uncover little bits of all of the characters as we go. So with that, it does help to watch them in order, but you definitely don't have to watch them in order. but you will end up getting some spoilers if you watch them out of order, in terms of where the characters are in their lives and what's going on. And yeah, there's going to be another Love Club series. I don't know when it's going to happen or who's going to be in it. I think the plan is to create 4 new stories with 4 new women, which I think is really exciting. It's such a neat platform to create the power of female friendship. So I'm excited to see what happens with it, and I'll continue to be a fan of the Love Club, regardless of whether or not I'm a part of it. But I do think they're changing up the ages
Right.
and the storyline for the next 4. So as far as I know, it's going to be 4 brand new women. And yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
kind of,
So born new
it's
movies
new
with
information, but
okay. So you don't know if you guys are gonna be like cameos or no?
no, I don't know.
Okay.
The only reason I know actually is because my agent just emailed me and was like, "Oh, I just saw a breakdown for a new Love Club series. They're going with like new people. That's so cool." So we were just chatting about it, and I think it's so awesome because if it's an opportunity to show 4 new stories and continue to explore women at different stages in their lives and the female friendships that support them, I think that's such a cool way to explore movies and topics and friendship and love. So I'm just really excited to see what happens with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, excited. The whole thing with Disney journey. I'm sure I watched the other lady, the Disney like going back and forth, Byron, all of that. You're like, keep going. You don't need Byron, just keep going. And I was just like, I love how the chemistry with the ladies and how Disney's like going back and like her past and the drunkard and the one she did. They are just the character. I was just like, yeah, look at Byron. I mean,
I know, right? Get rid of him.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to finish Lauren's Dream and Taylor Tune on my phone. And my friend told me that she tried to watch the series on the Hallmark Now app. I have that on my TV. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. Nothing. The only availability was your movie. I was like, okay. What about the other movie? That's okay. I have my phone. I have my iPad with the live captioning, so I catch up on those Love Club movies. They're really good. Remind me of the Whitey Bear vibe because of the 3 ladies with different stories. So who knows if they're gonna be something else? It's not about the bear, but something about the necklace. So, keep going. I love these kind of movies. Keep going.
I know. I would love to do a series that continues, whether it's a TV show for Hallmark or a series of films. I think it would be so fun to be able to explore a character and keep it going, because I love these kinds of projects, and it would be so cool to be a part of one that continues and continues and continues.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to talk about your experience before. I know all along you have been at the party war, like best friend or neighbor or cousin or sister, and now finally you were able to be the leading lady of a couple of movies. So how did that transition from the party war to a leading role?
It was honestly, like, my heart still beats fast when I talk about it because I have to pinch myself all the time knowing that this is what I get to do for a living. Um, it's been really kind of cool too because, as you know, right now I'm working opposite Andrew Walker, who is such a staple and such an incredible actor and such a face of the network. I mean, he's worked with all of the leading ladies at this point practically, and
Yeah.
it's really cool because getting a chance to work with him, I'm realizing, I don't know, there was something unique that happened when I found out that he was going to be my co-star in this one, because I realized that virtually all of the people that I've been the best friend of have been his leading lady at some point, and now stepping into that for myself, it felt like I got to celebrate it again. I was very lucky that Hallmark brought me in and wanted to support me and wanted to encourage my growth as I stepped into the sidekick characters. And then when the time came for them to give me the opportunity to step into a leading role, I just felt so lucky and so supported, and I still do. And I feel so grateful. I say it all the time, and I know I do, but I'm just so grateful who wanted to support me and wanted to see me become a bigger part of them. I really know I wouldn't be where I am without the support of the people who watch these movies and who love them. And I'm just so incredibly and eternally grateful, because it has been the greatest, most incredible experience of my life getting to step into this role. And I love every minute of it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not looking at all these movies. I'm like, damn, she had to die in that movie. Awesome. You know, I got thinking a couple of weeks ago, I'm thinking, okay, Andrew's in Africa and Brittany going there. Like, she get to work with him. That awesome, because I remember all the co-stars, like on the side with, or the leading couple on the movie. I'm very excited because I feel like every actor or every person should have like a chance to work with each other, whether the couple or distant brothers or cousins, best friends. I feel like everybody should have if I have a few couple of favorites, a couple of those two should be in a movie together. Those two, no, they don't work out. So I'm like, should I do that? So I'm excited about your upcoming movie. So I want to talk about Tale of Love, because I know that's kind of like a family, you know, because your dad, your mom wrote and direct, and of course, you starred in it with Chris McNally. So it was a really cute movie. So is there like a story behind it, like how your dad, you know, produced or wrote the movie?
Yeah, so my parents had been working on the project for a number of years together. They had this story that had been sort of created, and they'd been working with a couple of writers on it. And eventually they just kind of thought, let's just go for it. Let's just make it happen. And so my mom took the story and worked on it and rewrote some things. And as a family, we just thought, you know what, how fun would it be if we got to make this? So my dad decided, let's just make it happen. Let's just find a way. So we reached out to Chris, and he was super on board, and it was really fun. I feel like, you know, a lot in my earlier career, I felt like I needed to prove that I was capable when I worked with my parents. And now I've moved through that to a place of being so incredibly grateful when I get to work with my parents, and I get to enjoy it, as opposed to feeling like I have to prove myself and prove my ability. So when I got a chance to work with them on a movie that we knew we were going to be giving to Hallmark with such an incredible leading man, Chris, I just felt so lucky. And my dad did an incredible job directing. I think my mom did a beautiful job on the script. And we had an incredible group of people on the crew, the cast. I mean, Jane Eastwood, Umberly Gonzalez. We had such wonderful people who all came together to make that movie happen. But my mom and dad were definitely the champions of it.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really good movie and a really good storyline with the dog and moonbeam and stuff. I like those kind of movies really good. That was the research and see how fit in with the family. So also, did your parents do another, I'm trying to remember, like another movie with a story about, was that your parents involved in that, or was it like a different movie with Franco Lopresti, the story of love with the writing, the retreat?
My parents weren't involved in that one.
Okay.
but that was a really fun one too. And Franco's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I like the chemistry between you two. Like, you know, tall, wide,
Yeah.
really. You're not gonna win them over if you're gonna be acting like that. But I really like that movie. It was really good chemistry between you, the two of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to watch Just Jake tomorrow because I wanted to be on my TV with the caption, not on my phone or iPad. I watched a little bit of it, and I need caption. So I will wait for up TV. So I want to tell me more about that project now that it's airing tomorrow. So what was it like working with Rob, May, Brandon Clark? Remember I thought like, is that Brandon? And that's when I texted you if I would see the movie. I didn't realize you were going to be in the movie. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait for the caption so I can absolutely know what's going on.
It was such a fun project to be a part of. It's one of those things I felt so supported by Brandon. I know that Rob is an incredible singer. So going in, he had no qualms about it. He was not nervous at all in terms of bringing the singing to life. But neither of them knew if I could sing at all. And they took a chance on me to be a part of this project with no knowledge as to whether or not I could keep a tune. And I remember like the first few days I was in Colorado before we started shooting, we went to the recording studio and we recorded the song, and I was just shaking. I was vibrating. I was so nervous. And Rob came up to me and he was like, Britt, you got this. You're going to be great. I'm going to be cheering for you on the other side of the glass. Now go rock this. I was like, okay. And so I went in and I recorded it, and him and Brandon just had the most amount of support and love to hand to me. And it was the coolest experience of my life. I think I shocked them by actually not being a terrible singer. I will never call myself a good singer, but I'm very proud of the song, or the songs, I should say, because I recorded two. But it was such a fun experience. I feel like the character of Amber that I played was, you know, she's a little bit moodier. She's a little bit more shut off. She's dealing with her emotions in a slightly different way than a lot of the characters that I've played. So getting to play someone who was hurt really badly and as a result doesn't really trust anyone was an interesting place to come from, to start from, and to build through. And working with Rob was great. We had so much fun in Colorado too. We were all staying out there and we would go out for dinners. I even went over and cooked for them one night. We had just so much fun all together. And Brandon was a great director. He was so supportive and so fun and loved to poke fun at people, but knew exactly what to say and when to say it. So yeah, it was a really, really incredible experience. And the rest of the cast and the crew there were just amazing. And I'm really excited that everyone gets to see the hard work and the love that was put into the project tomorrow. I can't believe it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'll be like watching. Brad, you can sing. But I can't sing. I mean, I call it at that point. I only sing in the shower or in my car on the way to work because I don't care. I'm just think I was like, my daughter's like, Mom, please don't. So why not?
It's fun. Sing loud and proud. That's what I say.
Not if you're bad, girl. You should have to get it out there.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You just gotta sing.
So the Dawn part in the movie through are they already made Dawn, or are they Rob Dawn, or they?
So one of them is actually a worship song from church. That's one of the songs I recorded. And then the second one was a song that was written with an incredible team of musicians from Nashville. Rob and Brandon met with Will Weatherly, Heath Warren, and a couple of other guys who all came out to support at the end of the project. It was crazy. Like, these guys are incredible musicians. They're all like winning awards and being superstars, and they came out and they all worked together to write this song. And yeah, I'm just really excited. And I was talking to Brandon earlier today, and I think the song is going to actually be remixed or properly finished. That's not in a film soundtrack, but is Will Weatherly, who is like Nashville royalty. He's going to remix the song so that it's perfectly done for the radio and for listening on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. And we're actually going to be able to release the song from the
Exciting.
I never could have dreamed in a million years that I would have a song that people could actually listen to. Like, what is that? But that's a thing that I think might be happening. So yeah, it's an original that was written for the movie.
Great. And there any movies out of is there any particular movie that really stick to you that you really enjoying working like a favorite? Well, I can't say favorite because nobody tells me their favorite film, but what is one project that you really love and you like feel like you put everything into like it was your own?
Of all of the projects?
Yeah. I mean, after the pony lady and after leady lady, if that narrowed it down a little bit.
Oh, totally. It is so hard to pick because I feel like they're all so different. And I always say, like, it's the one I'm working on now. But the one I'm working on now really feels like it's going to be incredible. I'm really excited to see what happens with it. But I think when I look back, I think for me, Love, Romance, and Chocolate was one that sticks out in my mind because I got to work with two of my absolute favorite people on the planet, Lacey and Will. They are two of my very dear friends, and they have been the most supportive, most loving, wonderful people in my life. I got to make that movie with my parents, and I got to create a character that was funny and pushy and had her own little romantic thing going on in the background, and was so invested in watching these two characters fall in love that I feel like Love, Romance, and Chocolate is one.
And then eventually your parents are kind of fell in love with that one guy. So
Yeah. They have their own little romance in a way. But being such an integral part of sort of making the two leading characters see that they loved each other was really fun.
Yeah. Is there any movies or any project that you find challenging? Because I know some of the actors or anything during COVID or the shutdown, or are there any movies or any work that were kind of challenging and then somehow you made it work and work together?
Yeah, I mean, COVID, I think just in general made work challenging. There were a lot of funny little things that I don't think a lot of people know. Like, we were being tested every single day, which is fine. And, you know, we're all wearing masks and shields and trying to navigate everything without being able to like physically be around each other. But I think the hardest thing through COVID for me was not getting to interact with my co-stars. When you signed up to do a movie, you had to like stay in your hotel room when you wrapped. You were not allowed to interact with people. You had to just be alone. And so much of what our job is interacting and getting to know each other and developing those relationships. And it's challenging when you're not allowed to talk to anybody. So that was definitely hard. And then like there's funny little things like we coined it the COVID kiss, where during COVID, instead of actually kissing, a lot of the time what we would do is we would have a piece of plastic on a popsicle stick. So we had to become like magicians as well, because we had to hide this popsicle stick with plastic attached and then like swoop it up into the kiss. And both of us would just be face smushing on plastic. So there were certain things like that, which made it like a whole new, what are we doing? How does this work? Like, does anybody see the popsicle stick? So that certain things like that were kind of hilarious, but yeah.
So you're like, could I think them back, like backstage skiing the whatever actor put it in the story, like for example, what was that? It was Sweet Carolina with Tyler Hand and Lacey, and some of them were sharing like practicing or behind the scenes, and they had like a big shield within each other, and they were dancing and stuff. So I'm like going back and watching the movie because I am just like speechless or amazed on how the Hallmark world and the actors, directors, producers make a work with them during COVID. You know, okay, I have to have a shield. Okay, practice your line, practice whatever you're gonna do, and then when they do the final take, they're actually gonna be into the movie with no take that all off and then do the scene and then take a much better actor with acting. And then after they do that for the room, I'm like going, hey, do they call each other on the phone and then practice the line and then they go do it? Or I would hate to think that.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge, but now that things are a little bit more under control, a lot of that stuff's been lifted, and it's so nice to be able to like sit down with Andrew and run our lines and
Yeah.
like actually, go out and have dinner and feel like real people. It's, especially when you're far away from home, it's nice to be able to enjoy your surroundings and spend time with the people you're working with. And that was definitely the hardest part for me, was just feeling like ever so slightly isolated when you were working because you just couldn't spend any time with anyone. It's hard.
Yeah, I know how that is. Because working from home as a teacher during the pandemic, I felt that I like working from home because I feel like when my kids don't need me, I could go work out. And then when my kids
Yeah.
need me, I could just pop in. And then we would go back in person. I was like, I have to go through a whole new routine again. Okay, I was really
So,
happy when my school stopped or doing like a math optional because I'm a deaf holiday period teacher. And okay, math is not gonna help me. Math is not gonna help my students, So I made
wow.
a rule. I mean, if you feel comfortable, you could take a math off in my classroom, and then we could just run out because I'm vaccinated, and I know you guys have your first shot, and then but when
Yeah.
you're out in the halls in the mainstream classroom, sorry, you're gonna have to wear the mask. You're like, every time they come to my room, they're like, I'm not going to class. I can't breathe in that thing. I was like, come in, make sure you work. So, and then after
Yeah.
that, I was like, I'm done. I mean, everything started back to normal. My kids go back to school. My daughter decided to finish her school year virtual because she's comfortable with the class. But my son was like, I'm going back to school. I need to be around people. I'm like, yeah, I'm going back to school.
Go. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. When it comes to movie project script, you like take a script and you look at it, you read it, like, okay, I'm interested. And what are some of the scripts that you kind of, I don't know, rejected or not interested in? So are you open to trying anything and experience any role, any character, dark? I don't like the word dark, but eerie, silly characters, bubbly, or because I know a lot of actors want to experience everything, and I know they have a preference. So, script, when it comes to it, how do you know it's the one? And how do you know, maybe not the one, or I'm not there yet?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I generally speaking love the idea of trying everything. I love the idea of diving into all different kinds of people. For me, the main thing that I don't really have interest in is when the women aren't strong and there's no reason behind it. Um, like if there's a character who is weak, but it's because they've navigated something really challenging and they're finding their way to being strong, I enjoy those. But to just play someone who's just a sort of, for lack of a better word, an underdeveloped woman, I find those scripts to be frustrating when I read them. And then for me, I don't really have any interest in anything that requires nudity. So I know that's, you know, some people don't mind. I find a lot of the times in film and television, it's really gratuitous and unnecessary. It's put in there just to be put in. And so whenever I see scripts where, you know, perhaps there's something really challenging happening or it's got a dark theme, if the writers choose to utilize nudity as a way to express that story, I generally am immediately disinterested, because there are much more interesting and much more creative ways in which to show somebody's challenges. But I feel like a lot of the times writers will use nudity or things that suggest nudity as a way to sort of play at those things. So for me, it's just, I really appreciate when writers have good intellectual choices in terms of how they're navigating. And of course, I love the rom-coms. I will never stop doing them. If people want to keep hiring me, I will keep working in them forever. But yeah, I would be interested in trying a ton of stuff. And I, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's just about working on projects that you're comfortable in. And yeah, every once in a while I read a script and I just go, I don't know who's going to agree to do this, but good luck to them. So it's rare. I mean, there's a lot of really phenomenal scripts out there, and there's a lot of great writing, and there's a lot of really brilliant projects that I see coming in. It's very rare that I see a script where I go, I don't like it. So
what about Dustin? You sometimes read, you sometimes like show him or share the script, or that he have like an input, like, oh, Brit, you should do the Brit. No, you're not doing that. No, you're doing this. Or how is that? I'm related to the, we will talk more about Dustin soon as we go through the Romadrama and the wedding topic. But I mean, you two, I mean, I see you two Romadrama, like, I'm like, oh, she's pretty, I'll come back later. And I was like, I shouldn't, no. Not at the next event, if she's there, I'm gonna be like, hey, come on, we're gonna have a girl talk. And no the other people, we're gonna have a girl talk. So that will help you. I know, I'm sure he helped you prepare the movie and talk script with you. You could do this. And I don't know about this one because, so tell me more about that if he's involved somewhat.
yeah, I mean, whenever I have auditions, Dustin's always the guy that helps me tape them. He's the best, and he's got a really smart eye when it comes to scripts. We actually just wrote one together, which is exciting, which may or may not be being filmed this year. So he's got a really good eye for those things, and I do sometimes talk things through with him. I remember very distinctly there was this one script that I read where I was kind of like, I don't know, I'm gonna keep reading it, but I don't think. And then ultimately it ended up being one of the aforementioned scripts where I went, really? That's what you're, okay, no. But I remember within the first 10 pages, I told Dustin about it, and he was like, I think you should stop reading it and just say no. But I kept reading it, and he was right. So I think the lesson there is
listen to them. They tell you one thing and you love it, and like keep going. But what we tell them, they don't understand.
Exactly. So I think the lesson there is just always listen to Dustin.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have 2 questions, but that will be for the wrap up. So Romadrama and you're ready. So how would you, I know like Palm Beach was your first Romadrama event, right? Because you weren't at the Nashville, right?
I was.
My first one too, though. to tell me about your experience, how to do beer, like, or because it was really open and it was really friendly and intimate. I mean, hands down. I mean, I'm hoping to make the next event if they announce it, because I'm just like, Romadrama, hands down. I mean, I told my dad and my friend, if there's a Christmas con or any of those other conventions, I will go. But it has to be in Milwaukee or Chicago, because I am not going to fly. I am not going to stay at a hotel, because I've heard, I've had my views and opinions about Christmas con, even though I haven't been to one, but I've heard, Romadrama. I'm a Romadrama girl until I die. I don't think I'm ever going to go to Christmas con unless it's here local. Then I go in. My people told the whatever. Okay, please, I go home. I don't have to be like, I have to wait for my flight tomorrow. Why did I die for the whole weekend? But go home, Britt. Tell me about your experience about Romadrama.
I had the best time at Romadrama. I actually was at the one at Nashville, or in Nashville, I should say. But the West Palm Beach one was like a whole new world. It was so big, and so like the organization of the event was just tenfold from Nashville. Not to say Nashville wasn't organized and wonderful, but it was just a way bigger scale. And they had so many fun events planned, and just getting to interact with people for me was just the best thing ever. And I'm hoping that they'll announce another one soon too, because I want to go back to Romadrama. I had so much fun. I love going to Romadrama, and Dustin and I talk about it so fondly all the time. We're like, it's the best time ever. Everybody's amazing. We get to hang out with all the coolest people, and I just have the most fun. I love it. I love it so much. I don't even really know what else to say other than it's the best. And I love that there's so much time to interact with people. There's so many opportunities to sit down and interact and hang out and have fun and, talk to people and just get to know people. It's a really special event. And let me tell you, the minute they announce the next one, I'm going to be calling Gabrielle and being like, hey, I'm coming, right? Please and thank you. I want to be there. When is it? Where do you need me? So, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, but sure, I really agree. I mean, we still talk about it these days.
Yeah.
I mean, like if I get a hold of one of my friends, we'd be like, oh, remember that time? Oh, yeah. We're like, it's the everyday thing that we talk about. I mean, and especially the one that happened, we're thinking Romadrama, Chicago. Oh my God, it was the best. I mean, every single time the event, like when I first found out about Romadrama Nashville, I was like, okay, I'm going to look it up how much it costs. I was like, never mind. It happened in 2 weeks, and there's no way I'm going to make that in 2 weeks.
It's so hard.
I start saving for the next one, because I didn't even know what the next one was going to be. And then they announced Atlanta. I told my husband, I'm like, I'm going. My husband was like, how much is that? I was like, $800. He's like, what? I'm like, first of all, $800 include I tell him out for things that okay, readable. I'm like, and I'm just okay. And then it was like 20 days that they were doing the mid of the pandemic, 20 days, I'm like 20 more days. And the next day they make the announcement. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No more Atlanta. Can't I talked to Gabrielle, I'm like, Gabrielle, honey, I love you, but I'm sorry, but it's going to be canceled because of COVID protocol, and it's getting, but we will make the next one the best. So your tickets and everything will roll over to the next event. Please wait at least a week before we make the next announcement. I was like, okay, well, you make sure he showed up at that event, because that's why I'm going. And of course I'm going because I want to meet my sister Dara, Hallmark, and I want to meet Jacqueline, and I want to meet all these people that I met online because of the event and the Heimlich and all of it. So I found a West Palm Beach from the happy birthday to me because my birthday
Right?
is early June. So I was like, oh, the best time, and I from the Atlanta event and Gabrielle right away for my accommodation for interpreter. Because now we will make sure you have interpreters. When the time gets closer, we will mail you a list of panels. And interpreters are quite expensive, so to pick the panels you are interested in, and then we will hire someone for you.
That's amazing.
So I had an interpreter. I love the interpreter. I have her Instagram. We talk once in a while. She goes, "You should be my interpreter for Chicago." She goes, "Oh, you someone paid my flight."
Oh,
I'm like, but yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. And the interpreter was like, "Do you need me for the private meet and greet?" I'm like, "No, honey, I'll be fine. I can retire anytime I want." But the interpreter laughed. So the meet and greet, I did the whole environment. It was beautiful. It was intimate.
oh,
We did not feel rushed. And
yeah.
everybody was walking around. There was no like, nope. What are you here for? Nope. Or any other like Christmas time. I have not gone there or anything, but I've experienced that
Yeah.
it's not as intimate. It's not as friendly. No, I mean, I get it for business and all of that, but like I said, if they have one local, I go there for 1 day or 2 days to pick my people and then just leave. But I keep telling everybody, Romadrama is the way to go, and they make the money worth it. And the
Yeah.
Chicago one was amazing. I mean, when I found out, I was like, I'm going, and my girlfriend was like, "It's so funny. They announced it the day after I booked a hotel room, and it was the exact same weekend." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, so that I booked for the first weekend of December, and the next day they announced it for those days. I was like, "We're going." And
That is
yeah,
meant to be.
it was amazing. The hotel, and then we stayed an extra day. So we left on Sunday. We were able to walk around Chicago and then take the afternoon train. And I drove home from Kenosha. So beautiful, awesome. And it was
Love that.
intimate. That's what I like. But Christmas card is like, I'm looking at the packaging and I'm looking at the VIP and the general packaging. They don't have a lot to offer compared to
Mhm.
Romadrama packaging. So that I'm not gonna, okay. Like like for the VIP package, I looked there was one voucher for an autograph or a photo op or something like that. That's it for VIP. While Romadrama VIP, 5 selfies, 5 autographs, and one.
Mhm.
Okay. No.
Yeah, Romadrama is worth it all day.
Mm. So we shortly got married a few weeks after Romadrama. I look at the wedding pictures on video. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I should like so beautiful. And then your honeymoon and everything. Just beautiful. You and Dustin were just stunning. Your dress and the kids. I should like beautiful.
Thank you. It was the best. I'm so happy and so lucky to be married to that man. He is the best human being, and I miss him so much right now because he's not here with me, but he is the most wonderful, and our wedding was beautiful, and being married to him is beautiful, and I just feel very, very lucky. He's the best.
Dustin sometimes travel with you sometimes for movies, or how did that work? I mean, like what does he do for a living, and then how does your schedule work? Like come and visit you for a few weeks, or come with you for the whole time, or you have to be separated like you are right now. Hopefully, counting the days to go home.
Yeah, it really depends on the project. So Dustin's a designer fabricator. He designs and builds restaurants and
Okay.
bars. And sometimes he does custom pieces for people. So his business is super busy. He and his company, they're called the Make Nice Project. They are so incredibly in demand right now, and they are building some of the most beautiful restaurants in Toronto. But yeah, sometimes he gets to come visit me. When I was shooting Just Jake, he came out for, I think, 4 or 5 days at the end, so we could see Colorado together, and he could come to the wrap party, and he was on set. He's actually in the movie, so people need to watch out for Dustin.
Okay, that's
He's
right
in the
there.
band. He's in the band, and it makes me giggle every time I see a picture of him in it. And then he was supposed to come to South Africa to visit me, but the next project I'm involved with, not as an actor, hint, hint, and so I am meeting him in Budapest, and he's going to spend some time with me there, which is really exciting. So yeah, it's one of those things where it just kind of depends on the project. If I'm filming in and around Toronto or like 2 hours away from home, I'll try to go home on weekends. He'll come up to see me for dinners. We try to make sure that we don't spend more than like 3 weeks or 4 weeks apart at a time, because we just don't want to. We like each other too much.
Of course. Beautiful people. Beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna wrap up with 3 just random questions. What is one fun fact about yourself? Any one fun fact about yourself?
Oh God, I don't know. One fun fact.
Something about you.
I'm trying to think. I'm the worst at these questions. I'm like, I have blonde hair. That's not fun. One fun fact about me. I am somebody who absolutely loves the prep work for my movies. And I say this because I'm sitting beside a pile of notes. I buy little notebooks for all of my characters, and I write out everything about them in it. So this one is the character I'm currently playing. It felt very appropriate for who she was. And I collect these little notebooks, and I write out letters to myself, my continuity for costumes, but then I also like develop the person. So I look up their name and what the meaning of it is and where it comes from. And so I have a whole collection of like the people that I've been in my house. Maybe that's something fun.
At both of your stories, you had numbers, and I'm looking at it like that's something I'm gonna have to ask you about. So like
Andrew was laughing at me so hard.
Land cross stop, or hot lane. What I'm supposed to say?
Yeah, so I was going through and writing out all of the scenes that were happening for the week, and then I was separating them into scenes that are between him and I, and scenes that are between me and other characters and him and other characters. And then I was getting rid of all the scenes where we don't talk. So I was going through and creating like a study schedule for us because I'm a little bit organized, some would say.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I like to be organized myself too. I mean, I have my podcast book, but my podcast
I love it.
Interviews, and at the back of my notebook is my Hawaii vacation prep. So prepping for my vacation.
To Hawaii, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm going. My sister lives in Hawaii. She lived there since I think my daughter is 13. I think she lived there for more than 13 years because once she graduated from high school, she was going to Alaska for Habitat for Humanity, and then she found some volunteer project or what is it, Peace Corps. So then when she went to Hawaii for 10 weeks, then she ended up moving there. We were like, I'm moving to Hawaii. We were like, what about your stuff? Because I come back and visit and have the majority of my stuff moved. So now she's getting married. Please, Hawaii, please. She goes, of course it's going to be in Hawaii, the bride's hometown. I was really the hometown of Wisconsin. But Hawaii is fine.
But we don't need to argue about that. Hawaii is great.
Right. So I'm going to Hawaii next week, the 29th.
Oh my gosh, that's
I
so
was planning
exciting.
for 2 weeks. I was just planning for because I'm done with school. I'm the plan with that. Oh, wait a minute. I look at my current schedule. They're not done with school until June 8th. So I was like, why? So I'm staying from Hawaii for a week. So hopefully, eventually, maybe next year or the next couple of years, we'll go back for longer. So for a vacation, and my sister's wedding, so I'm prepping for that because
Oh,
we have
that's
one
so
big
fun.
lunch. Me, my husband, and my son. My daughter wants her own. I'm like, fine. But we're gonna have to go through what you're gonna pack because we
Yeah,
don't want to overpack. Because we have a washer, dryer, condo when we go there. So that helps a lot. So I'm excited. Go back to Hawaii after 11 years. We went there for a honeymoon. So I'm finally
oh,
going back. So I'm
I
excited
love
about
that.
that.
I've never been to Hawaii, but I would like to put it out into the universe that I should do a movie in Hawaii because I would like to be there
Yeah. We're
for
going
an
to the
extended period.
island of Kauai. We're more
Okay.
camping, sporty, hiking, we thought. I was hoping I'm gonna try to see if I can make a day or two fly to the Big Island with my husband because I'm a history buff. I want to go visit the
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor. I want to visit the Duarte, Arizona. I want to go see the volcano. So me and my husband
Yeah.
are talking about maybe 1 or 2 days splurge, have a early anniversary gift, maybe fly over everything. Can we do
I
that?
love that idea.
Uh,
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah. Um, and and there a movie or and there a book. Doesn't matter how many times you watch it or how many times you read it. You will still read it without any movie or any book that you will watch or
What?
read over and over.
There is one book. It's not at all a happy book, but it is a phenomenal book. I love, love, love science fiction when it comes to sort of like the idea of what could be. And there's a really phenomenal book that I read called The Post Mortal by Drew Magary. It was, I believe, like his very first book, but it's about what the world would look like if in the future we developed a cure for aging. So people would just exist as they are forever, and what that would mean in terms of how we would navigate our life and what it would mean to have children and what it would mean to be married. And it was one of those books that I think for me just fascinated me because it was something that created a world in which, we always say like, oh, I wish I could live forever, but like what it would actually look like if we did. It's a really fantastic book. I've read it like 4 times, but it's not necessarily the happiest book. So if you don't like books that are sometimes frightening and stuff, don't read it. But I love that one. And then movies wise, Bridesmaids is up there for me. I could watch that movie every day. I think it's so funny.
It's a funny
Bridesmaids.
movie, it's hilarious. Funny movie.
I know, right? I love movies that are funny and easy. I think that movie's great. The Big Lebowski is hilarious. I think I've seen it like 10 times because Dustin kept not believing that I'd seen it, so we just kept rewatching it. Yeah, well, I love movies that make me laugh. So anything like that is great. And then of course there's the heartbreaking ones like The Notebook, which no matter how sad it makes me, I will always turn it on.
Oh,
That and The Devil
The
Wears
Notebook.
Prada.
the
Wears
book
Prada
and
is
the
great.
movie, I would watch it. The Notebook, I would watch it all the time. The Notebook and the book, so good. I would just have to like The Notebook again. I don't know. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of books, I know you like kind of like sci-fi and like what happened to the future with life or whatever. My friend, she told me a book. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 books in a series. It's called The Last Survivors. Have you heard of that?
I have not, but I'm writing it down.
Okay, The Last Survivors. The first book is called Life as We Knew It. And the
Okay.
second book and called The Dead and the Gone. And
That
the
sounds
third book in The World We Lived In. The last one in The Shade of the Moon.
Ooh, those are
All
great
four of them
titles.
are easy reading. I mean, one of the first book I read out. Oh my God! To go nap. I was thinking some more. So I bought all four books. I'm a book hoarder. I have bookshelves everywhere. I mean, I'm like a Colleen Hoover fan, Jodie Pickering, Nicholas Sparks, and I'm huge on biographies. Only if there's something interesting. Like I have Matthew Perry on my list. I have Tom Belton from Harry Potter. And I just finished a book, Minka Kelly. What was the name of it? Yeah, really good, really powerful, really sad. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe you made it, and how her life was before acting and her family. But yeah,
Wow.
yeah, the good read that a whole bunch of books. So yeah,
Amazing.
your
I
book
love
really
to read.
done.
Yeah, I love to read. I love to read so much. I don't get a chance to do it very often, but like when I travel for work, I always pack 2 books in hopes that somehow miraculously I'm gonna have time to read. I never do, but I always have them with me.
Yeah, same. I will bring like 2 or 3 books to work because like binders right now, I can't help them with binders. I just give them to the binders. I'm like, you can use the notes if you have them. If you have questions you want to clarify, let me know. Good luck. And I will be sitting on my desk. I will be reading. And I'll be finished. I'm like, okay, here's my other book. So I will bring 3 books to work just in case.
I love that. Just in case. It's always good to have books just in case.
Yeah.
Never bad.
Yeah. Okay. I think that are the questions. Do you have any questions for me before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I'm just so happy that we finally got a chance to do this. It's been so long in the making.
Yeah, definitely. I try like be here and there, make sure I have the confidence available. I'm like, okay, you're available this, and I will reach out to everybody else. I'm like, okay, they're available. Are you? So I have like 3 other podcasts in the work. So I'm very excited about that. I'm like, in the summer, I want to try to do at least 2 or 3 a month. But then when I go back to work, I try to do 1. If I'm lucky, 2. So just not about Hallmark only. I mean, I'm going to be calling in my friend podcast. Dude. I'm going to be calling in Dara. We have to make a date soon. Dara, John Thurman, Brandon Unbutton, and Riley. So I'm working on all of that. So I'm trying to get Andrew, but he's like dodging the question. That's okay. I bothered you later. I know the information. So I'm really happy we made it work.
Me too.
Good luck
Finally.
for the rest of the filming and your not pressure.
Thank you. And we'll hopefully get to share some stuff very soon. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
We just got the title approved. So fingers crossed.
Oh, so the title is approved now. You gotta go for the rest of them. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for your time and have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your journey.
Thank you so much, Kat. You too. It's so nice to talk to you. And thank you so much, Kelsey and Brady as well, for making the time and being here. It was really nice to meet everybody and get a chance to do this. And hopefully at the next Romadrama, we get to hang out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last time I talked to Gabrielle, she goes, I'm going to edit this part out because I can't really say it. But they're really struggling. I'm trying to decide when the next event will be because of the competition. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's why
we'll find
Instagram Live on my podcast account with my friend Deb. I would like laugh all out, quote the kind of those events. And of course, Romadrama win. And I need a hashtag Christmas time, Romadrama, Hallmark, so hopefully it goes out there. But the last I
Yeah.
heard, it will be late summer, early fall. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that will or will not be the case, depending on if I can get off work or the location. So we'll see, but I
Mhm.
really hope they go back to West Palm Beach. That was the perfect location. I'm hoping
I know, it was
they
really
remember.
great.
I mean, the
I
hotel
know.
was nearby. You can walk while
It was
the
perfect.
time that really you can walk.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. West Palm Beach was great and the convention center was huge and there was tons of stuff for people to do. It's kind of perfect.
Definitely. Okay. I don't want to keep talking, but because I know you to get them sleep. But I don't know. Wow, if you could tell Andrew I said hello, that would be
I
wonderful.
will.
And
I
enjoy
will
the rest of it.
absolutely.
I hope to talk
We're
to you
shooting
soon.
tomorrow. We're shooting tomorrow, so I'll make sure to tell him that you say hi.
All
And
right.
thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
sure it's
Thank
gonna
you
go
for being
wonderfully.
here.
Of
Yeah.
course, my pleasure, Kat. It was so nice to talk to you.
Bye. See you later.
Bye. Bye. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's pretty much, hold on. That's pretty much it. So thank you for being here and be really